Higher frequency you, higher frequency me, higher frequency university.
Blessings, YouTube. Good morning. Welcome to Higher Frequency University 3. I guess the title of today would be Stay on Course. Stay on the path. I don't know. I wanted to talk about what happens when you are on your spiritual journey and you are making progress and you feel good and maybe a little too good, and you get off on an exit that you really didn't mean to or didn't need to get off on. And what I mean by that is, what happens when you derail yourself? What happens when your ego gets a little overconfident in the progress that you've made and starts to go back on the progress that you've made, basically. So it would be things like negative thinking or negative acting, or aligning yourself with people that who are on a different path, or a path that you have left, something like that. How do you get back on track? I guess I would equate it to, like, you're driving and somehow you confuse yourself and you get off on the wrong exit. How do you get back on the right road? Sometimes you're fortunate, and when you get off on that wrong exit, the right exit is right there, and you can get right back on and get back on your merry way. But what happens when that wrong exit leads you to places that you didn't even imagine, and now you're all flustered, you're frustrated, you can't even think straight anymore because you're trying to get back to that main road, and nothing is making sense. I've even had that happen to me where I tried to get off on my exit and somehow I missed it, and I was counting on another exit being right there right after, and there wasn't an exit, it was a U-turn, but it seemed wrong to do a U-turn right there, and so I didn't do it, and this thing took me way out before there was an exit. And it took a lot from me, because I'm one of those drivers. I'm a speed limit driver, and I'm an exact driver, and I was using the GPS, I was doing all the right things, and still ended up on this road, and I see a bridge coming up now, and I'm like, oh Lord, where am I going? And it can be frustrating, and that can happen to you in life. So by the way, just before the bridge there was another U-turn, and I took it and got myself back to where I needed to go. But what happens if you don't have a quick U-turn? How do you get back on track? First and foremost is, don't miss your exit. Pay attention. That's the first thing. And secondly, don't miss your exit. Pay attention. Do safety checks. Check back. Check your progress. See how far you've come, and make sure that your ego knows that you have attained this progress through being connected and aligning yourself with a new set of people, with a new set of circumstances, maybe even a new vehicle, meaning your mindset. So, pay attention and try to stay focused. It's hard. I know it's hard because you start to feel good and you're making progress, and you know you want to get back in touch with certain people, and you know do a little check with them, and you know your physical health might be good, and you want to do a little cheating, you know, go back on your diet or things like that, and you can't. It's a steady work, this spiritual journey. It's not something that you know do one day and that's it. You don't have to worry about it. It's a work. It takes a lot of discipline, and it's very hard. It's very challenging, should I say. I don't want to say it's hard because that has a negative connotation, but it can be very challenging. And that's good though. A good challenge is good, especially if you're making progress. So again, how do you get back on track? Don't know. Look back and see what it took to get you to the point that you were before you took the wrong exit. See what progress you made. See what were the steps and try to backtrack maybe and get back on track that way. It's very hard, but it's necessary every now and then, and it happens to everyone. It even happens to me, and not as often now because I'm focused and I know that my way is up and forward. My journey is to be free of all of these material attachments and things like that cause people to be so stressful. I want my attachments to be positive ones. So that's my journey, to have all my actions feel good, not just for me but for everybody else, you know, to radiate that. Yeah, so that's part of it. For homework, because I'm not going to dwell on it, you get the picture, you know what I'm talking about. For homework, what I want you to do is start implementing like a safety check. You know, like we do our vehicle checks, you know, every couple of months we got to get our inspection check. Do a safety check, a mental safety check. What was your mental state, say 3 months ago? What was your mental state, say 6 months ago? What was your mental state, say a year ago compared to now? And if you're unable to remember, start a journal. Write it down. Start writing down how you're feeling, what you're going through, so that you can backtrack and see what your mental state was. Do a physical safety check. You know, what was your health like? Were you sick? Did you have a cold? Put that in the journal too. That'll help you to gauge how you were living, how you were eating. You might even want to put in a day's meal plan every now and then, what you ate for the day. You know, what did you eat for breakfast? What time you ate breakfast? What did you eat for lunch? What time you ate lunch? Who you ate it with? Because sometimes that can also influence how you digest your food, who you're eating with. You know, do that as part of your physical. Also do a glow check. What I call a glow check is, you know, are you glowing? As you start to do this spiritual journey, you start to glow from within as you get lighter, and people see it. What I mean by that is, you know, like there's times when I walk by people and, you know, you get that, if you know what I'm talking about, when you walk by people and they, you know, give you that, and then they smile, and then you smile, and you know, now you're smiling, and then they're smiling even brighter, and now you're smiling even brighter, and everybody's smiling, and nobody knows why, but you're smiling. That's a glow factor. So, you know, check your glow. That's how you can do your physical. And then spiritually, you know, check, like I say, your progress. Are you happier? Are you less stressed? Are things working out for you? Are your connections more in tune? Are you more in sync? Are you having more coincidences? Those things are signs that you're spiritually in tune. So when you do your safety check, that's what you want to look for. Those are the signs and indications that you're on the right path. So that's it. I didn't want to do a long drawn out thing. I just wanted to keep it short and simple because we got to stay focused, and every now and then we have to do a safety check. So thank you for watching. I am EmpressTee. I am abundantly, graciously, and infinitely yours. Blessings.